Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be trying to help you guys max out your account. This is specifically for beginners, on how to get more souls and more ectoplasm, and just how to progress faster to max out and get the better resources. So as you guys can see on the right and on the left, I've put out the different items and resources that I personally recommend from my experience in the game, but feel free to leave any suggestions in the comments. But yeah, we're going to be going in order of flashlights, then charms, then we're going to go into the candies and curses because that's more RNG based, you can't really control that. Now before I start going into the different flashlights, I just want to say you can listen to this if you want, you don't have to, because I know I said it was for beginners, you might not have that many flashlights at the start of the game. So if you want to use these, you can. It's just what I'd recommend based on playtesting them. But yeah, you don't have to listen to this if you don't want to. But with that out of the way, we're going to kick things off with the Torchfly Lantern. Now, this is one of the lanterns that you'll get probably near the start of the game when you're like getting into everything. And the reason I chose this one and a lot of the other ones is because it has a projectile, which is really important, and it synergizes well with one of the charms, that being the magnet charm, which I'm going to talk about later. Basically, it just allows more enemies to be killed further off and drop more things without you getting hurt. So yeah, and yeah, it's just it seems really beginner friendly because it's one of the first flashlights that you get, and it's pretty easy to use. There's not really that many gimmicks to it as well, which I think adds to the simplicity as well, because a lot of the later flashlights, like the boss drops, for example the worm light, it has a tail that follows you, which I think, it makes the game easier. I wouldn't say it's hard to use, but like, just, I guess aiming the projectile with the tail is kind of adds to it, I guess. Alright, up next we have the Gorgeous Lamp, which is one of my personal favorites because of the spread shot, and it's why I'm recommending it now, because it has a 4-way burst shot which sends 4 projectiles in like a diagonal sort of pattern. And again, like I mentioned before, it pairs well with the Magnet Charm, which allows you to pick up things from far away, and the Gorgeous Lamp just allows you to kill more enemies at once and pick up stuff easier and get more resources quicker. Now, up next we have the Pulverizer MP40. Now, it does have a projectile, kind of. Basically, it sends out this grenade thing which eventually explodes and sets off like a flame in the air, which kills any monster that hits it. And why I think this is good is that when an enemy enters a floor from the side, which they usually do, it just allows you to kill them quicker and drop stuff. Fun fact, it actually also does more damage to bosses as well. I figured out that Chura's Fire, it's the same fire as Chura's Fire, which is the wing charm. It deals like double damage, which if you want to get through bosses quicker, then yeah, I'd recommend this one for beginners. And yeah, unlike the Torchfly Lantern, which is a lantern, it has a different playstyle, which requires more mobility, I think, and you have those weak spots. I think, yeah, it's a flashlight, it's going to be easier to use because you're used to like Molly's flashlight, for example, which is the flashlight you get at the start of the game. But yeah, the next two flashlights I want to talk about is the Scorchblade 9000R, I believe, and the Blightblade 9000X, yeah. Basically, they both pretty much do the same thing, which is why I paired them together, but the projectile, the way it works, kind of is different. So with the Scorchblades, it sends out an ember which drops and damages enemies. It goes in a downward direction. But with the Blightblade 9000, it sends a poisonous bubble which moves up. And both of them also, if you run into a wall and attack at the wall, then it will spawn a puddle or just damage, which stays on the wall for a bit of time. Now, I'd recommend these two just the same reason as the Pulverizer, because it allows monsters who are entering the different floors to be killed. Now, I will say these are, again, yeah, they're harder to use because they make you a bit slower, so I don't know if I recommend this necessarily for beginners. Maybe if you have a bit more experience with blades and you enjoy playing blades, then I'd recommend this more. But yeah, I mean, I don't really use blades that much. Maybe besides like Jacko Slash or Necro Side, but I mean, those you get later in the game. So yeah. All right, up next we're gonna be talking about the charms. Now, I feel like this also heavily depends on how many charm slots a given flashlight has. So yeah, with some, it's mostly blades. They have less charm slots, so maybe blades wouldn't be the best now that I think about it, but I mean, if you want to use them, then you can. But starting off with the charms, we have probably one of the most important ones, which is the Magnet Charm. Now, as I mentioned before, the Magnet Charm allows you to pick up projectiles that are far away, and upgrading it all the way, I feel, is so good if you want to keep collecting resources to upgrade other charms or flashlights, whatever it may be. And another great thing about it is that it only takes up one space. So if you don't know, each charm has a value from 1 to 5, and each flashlight has a max value of 11. So for example, if I were to put, let's say, 2 5 value charms into a flashlight, then it would work. But let's say if I added a 2 value charm as well, it wouldn't be able to fit. I'll probably throw like a graphic on screen to show you, just in case you don't get what I mean, because I know I'm horrible at explaining things. Another thing, the reason I recommend upgrading this so much is that you have the projectile flashlights, right? They can do damage from across the floors. You can, if you have the Magnet Charm fully upgraded, then that means you can pick up resources from like the top floor. Let's say even if you're on the bottom, which you're not going to be missing any resources from any level if you have this upgraded. So that's why this is probably one of the most important ones if you want to get more resources over time. Now, up next is a pretty obvious one. It's the Ecto Collector, because, I mean, if you have it all the way upgraded, then you times the Ectoplasm drop of monsters by ×3, which obviously Ectoplasm is used to upgrade charms. So, yeah. But, I mean, I don't know whether Souls or Ectoplasm are necessarily better than each other. I think maybe Ectoplasm is better to get because you want to focus your upgrading more than buying loads of different flashlights and charms. I mean, you can do that if you want. I mean, it gives you more fun. Just know that they won't be fully upgraded. So, but I just recommend focusing your upgrades on certain charms that you like, or certain charms mentioned in this video if you want to. I mean, you don't have to upgrade the ones that I'm recommending, but yeah. Okay, for these next 3, I'm going to group them together because they each 3 have their own similar abilities, but they're also different enough to distinguish them. And they all have kind of the same synergy with 2 other charms, which are the Soul Meter and Ectometer. Now, first off, the Lucky Break charm. I don't know if I'd recommend this if you're like starting out and you want to get your resources, because even when it's fully upgraded, it's only a 10% chance of not getting hit right. But, I mean, if you don't have the other ones, then it's fine. I guess you can use it. Know that the percentage will be lower the lower down the level of the charm is. But what I would recommend is the Bubblegum and the Chain Link charm, which both help stop your chain and your heart meter from going down, which if you're using the Soul Meter and the Ectometer, then they will change your heart meter into every time you get a certain chain, then it will give you a certain amount of souls or ectoplasm. If you do want to keep your chain up, I mean, the Bubblegum charm is probably better because it gives you 3 hits worth of keeping your chain up, so instead of just the 1 by the Chain Link charm. But I mean, the Chain Link does cost less to put into a flashlight, so it has a smaller value of 1, and the Bubblegum charm has a value of 4, so just keep that in mind in case you want to use them with other charms. Okay, up next we have the XP Pro charm, which yeah, I'd really recommend this one if you want to get more total heart points, because you are just so vulnerable at like a lower level, and getting that XP helps level you up, helps get you more HP, and also the more XP you get, the more gifts you get at the end of runs, which in turn give you more ectoplasm and souls. I don't know if they gave you souls necessarily, actually, but they give you more ectoplasm, which I think you'd want if you're trying to get resources. Okay, up next we have the Soul Meter Charm and the Ectometer Charm, which I talked about a bit earlier, and it's pretty self-explanatory why I'd recommend these. It's because it replaces your heart meter, which is kind of bad, I guess, but in turn, instead of getting hearts, you get ectoplasm or souls. In terms of which I recommend, I'm not too sure. I mean, I'd probably recommend Ecto if you want to upgrade stuff, but if you're looking to unlock stuff, then Souls definitely, because you use Souls to unlock things. But yeah, the choice is up to you. They both give you resources, and anyway, you can buy Souls and Ectoplasm in the shop using the other to buy them. But yeah, do whatever you want. Okay, up last we have the two pet charms, which is kind of a term I made up. We have the Wing Charm and we have the Pup Charm. So they spawn a friend along with you that attacks enemies. So the Wing Charm brings along Shura, which is a bat that sort of flies across the floor and hits enemies, also leaving a trail of fire behind her. And the Pup Charm has a little dog called Goober, which jumps from floor to floor, sending out a shockwave, which is similar to another charm. I'll put it up on the screen here, I kind of forgot its name. But the reason I recommend these is because the same reasoning as the projectile with your flashlights. You want to kill enemies from far away, and if you have the magnet charm, which you probably should have, if they're on the top floor, bottom floor, depending where you're at, you can pick up the resources. So, I mean, it makes it so much easier to clear out levels, clear out floors. It's just all around easier. And I would recommend probably Chura over Goober. That's just personal preference, though. And Chura does have the fire, which does more damage to bosses, if the boss does end up hitting it. So, just do what you want. I recommend Chura more. Okay, lastly, we have the Candies and Curses. Now, these are going to be a bit more RNG based, because we can't guarantee getting a certain candy or curse unless you like have the charms for that, which I wouldn't recommend just to get a certain candy or curse. I think just play the game, and getting through it gives you more experience with different things, and you might even find a strategy better for collecting resources than what I've given you. So, but if you do see this Candies and Curses, then I would recommend picking them up. So here they are. Okay, starting off with the Moonlit Bubblegum, which is kind of the exact same ability as the Bubblegum Charm. Now, I'd recommend this probably over the Bubblegum Charm, actually, because it doesn't take up any charm slots, first off, and it automatically gives you 3 hits. I don't know if you need to upgrade the Bubblegum Charm necessarily to get all 3 hits, but yeah, it just takes away charm space. So that's why Moonlit Bubblegum is probably better. And yeah, it's overall the same reasoning as before with the Bubblegum Charm, why I take it, because, you know, keeping your chain up, losing less hearts, works well with the meter charms, and yeah, overall pretty good. So up next for these two candies, I'm grouping them together because they do similar things, is the Grandma's Favorite Cookie, and we have Butterpop. So, they both have to do with draining slower. The Grandma's Favorite Cookie drains your chain meter slower, and your Butterpop drains your heart meter slower, I think. I might have gotten the order mixed up, but either way, they both do similar things. But yeah, the reason I recommend this, again, pairs well with the Soul Meter and Ectometer charms, just keeping your stuff up. But yeah, overall pretty effective, pretty just simple, and yeah, I'd definitely recommend these two. Now, up next, we have one of my personal favorite candies in the game, is Chocolate Mousse. or chocolate mouse. The chocolate mouse, it climbs up on walls and bites enemies, but along with that, it also drops ectoplasm from time to time, which, I mean, it helps getting rid of enemies, which is good. And it also drops ectoplasm. I mean, it's not often, but it just does. So I would recommend this definitely. Just same reason as the other pets as well, for helping you get more floors done and whatnot. Yeah. Something else I don't think I mentioned is that pets, any pet, including the chocolate mouse, also helps keep your chain up because it hits enemies. So every time a monster dies, it gives you +1 chain. So yeah, any sort of damage can do this, and that's more of a reason I'd recommend. That's more of a reason why I'd recommend pets in general, just for that extra damage and keeping your chain up. Up next, we have our first curse of the list. It's the Living Dead curse, or as I like to call him, Zeke, because that's the name of the curse. Basically, I mean, similarly to the chocolate mouse candy, it spawns this little zombie guy. He pops out of one of the floors and gives you a bunch of souls and ectoplasm, and sometimes even soul hearts, which, if that's not a good thing to get resources with, I don't know what is, because it's just free resources. Do keep in mind though that if he jumps out and hits you, then you will take damage, but on the plus side, enemies also take damage, which is another reason I'd recommend this. Same reason as before, keeping your chain up, and yeah, just overall clearing levels faster. So yeah, Zeke is definitely one of my favorite curses. Okay, up next we have the Void Curse. Now, I wouldn't really recommend this if your like heart points are really low, because it halves your HP, right? But you continually get souls from enemies, so yeah, that's obviously why I recommended it. But I'd say if you do see it, probably like in late game, near I guess like let's say Undead Library, you beat Necro Witch, you find it, I'd recommend it there. Probably also only if you have like a high amount of soul heart points, or just heart points, whatever. Just keeping your health high while having this, because yeah, you're going to be left extremely vulnerable if you have this on and you have a low amount of hearts. But I mean, it's hard because you're going to take damage more the newer you are to this game. You won't know how to dodge as well, so maybe I wouldn't recommend this if you're like starting out, but if you have a bit of experience, then yeah, I definitely recommend this one. Okay, last but not least, we have the Volt Jolt Jelly, because whenever you hit an enemy, there's a chance of another enemy who could be right next to you or just across the map, the level, getting damaged as well. So that's more resources further up or further down, depending on where you are, and again, Magnet Charm. So yeah, pretty simple. I mean, it's one of the newer ones, so yeah. I'd say this is pretty beginner friendly as well, because I mean, you're damaging enemies quicker, you're getting rid of them quicker. So yeah, if you definitely see this one, it's a pretty safe one to pick up. So yeah, I'd recommend this one a lot. And yeah, that's it. That's all the candies and curses and charms and flashlights or whatever that I'd recommend you use. If you have any like disagreements, agreements, recommendations for what you want me to add, then put it in the comments below. I'll try and reply to everyone. I mean, I probably will be able to because my channel is like minuscule. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.